Good afternoon. I'd like to thank you all for joining this introduction to the Japanese Space Business Idea Contest AEST Booster. I'm honored to be your host for this exciting online event. I'm Kensuke Tominaga from Space Title Foundation, and I will be to one-on-one sessions. We'll have two one-on-one sessions today. Now I'd like to introduce two speakers for the first sessions. Ms. Kanchanit, Innovation Specialist at Advanced Service Public Company, and Mr. Shogo Yakame from Space Title Foundation. Shogo, the floor is all yours.
Okay. Thank you, Kensuke. Hi, everyone. I'm Shogo Yakame from Space Title Foundation. So in this session, I'm going to ask the Ms. Kanchanit about the AEST Booster experience. So the Kanchanit, thank you for coming this session.
Thank you. First of all, let me introduce about the EcoSpace and for brief, and then I will answer the experience that we participated with in this platform. Let me share my slide.
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. Do you see my slide?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm Kanchanit from EcoSpace. We are the grand prize winner in 2021, and we developed the system that detects the forest fire in the early stage. Since the traditional technology is quite take too long in order to recognize the hotspot. And we leverage the data from a remote sensing satellite in order to identify the critical area. And we have a ground sensor to work with the satellite, low Earth orbit as a communication connectivity to send the data in every 30 minutes in order to monitoring the environment and gather all information. And we have AI in order to detect it in case we found any signal, and we send alert to the local community and government staff. From the EcoSpace, we start at 2019, and after we got a prize, we implement our solution in the 3 provinces in the north regions of Thailand, and our system can support the local community, and I will show you. This is the 5th versions of our system. We have a ground sensor, we have a dashboard, which is to have a software, and we develop in the 5th versions. And on the right hand side, if you can see, this is a real screen of the chat group of a local community that we alert when we detect the forest fire in April this year. That is forest fire seasons in Thailand, and this one is help the local community a lot, saves the life of people to enter to mitigate the situation and reduce the impact of PM 2.5 and also. And regarding to we join, we got the grand prize, and we participated with the AEST Booster in 2021. Is a good opportunity for us that we can connect to the government, both Japanese government and Thai government, and partner around the world, including Japanese partner. As you can see, we have a chance to propose this idea to Thailand Prime Minister and work with a big company like a Sony Group. This is for EcoSpace part, but our experience when we participate this platform, at the time in 2021, we developed the solution, and we struggle with the connectivity part and how to identify the potential area of a hotspot. And we work with JISA, and we work with University of Tokyo, and we realize the benefit of space technology. That's why we participate in AEST Booster to explore partnership and explore the technology to improve our solution. And yes, it's helped us a lot. Yep, thank you.
Okay. Oh, thank you for sharing. So let me ask you about the question related to your own experience of Exposter. So my first question is very simple. It is about your motivation. Why did you apply to Exposter? So what made you apply for Exposter?
First one is about to find the partnership, as I mentioned previously. But indeed, since we believe that frontier technology, like space tech, is a super marathon, and to bring ourselves to surrounding with the people who have the same dreams and passion, I think it will be good in the long term, and at least we can share and we can, be develop some collaborations, and will be good for our business, because we cannot do everything by ourselves. And as the downstream sector startup, I think is important for us to participate and connect to the community like AEST Booster and Ospettai, in order to understand technology and leverage those one to benefit back to our solution.
Okay, so you said that you wanted to make the network connection with the government or companies or the individuals who have the same kind of the passion into the space economy. So actually, I want to ask you about this kind of the networking effect of Exposter. So what kind of the networking did you get through the Exposter program?
Okay, thank you. I would like to split the answer into part. First one, as a grand prize winner, we're very lucky that we have a chance to participate in the post AEST Booster program, which is hosted by Spettai. And this one is very special session that we can, have an expert to brush out our idea into the commercial, and we have a chance to enter to the market, the real business industry that we have a connection to work with a big company that is quite a tangible one. Another one is about networking with the people and other participants and professional in this industry, which is in the part of mentoring, in the part of workshop or socialized. I think those one is help us a lot even after AEST Booster campaign or program. We still keep in touch. Yeah.
Okay, sounds super nice. So actually, I want to take a deep dive into the mentoring program. So actually, the AEST Booster is providing the great mentoring program for all the applicants in the program, right? So actually, could you tell us a little bit more about your own mentoring program and your experience in mentoring program?
Well, is another one. Is a peaches session also, because our background is we not space tech expert. We have a solutions. And we know that we can leverage the technology, and this part give us both in knowledge in terms of technology and how we can make it real in terms of feasibility, and how to connect to the people who have this kind of knowledge, and turn it to be a real practice that's why we can develop from the second version, and now it's a fifth version is from the mentoring program that we got from AEST Booster. Further than that, and for someone that they may not like to pitching or present on the stage, I think this program is very wonderful that we have our own not own, actually we have a very expert in terms of presentation to comment and try to lift up ability of communication and presentation on stage. That I still apply this knowledge in my personal and my business currently is wonderful, Tom. Yeah.
Okay, so as you said, you won the grand prize in 2021 AEST Booster. So what was the impact of winning the prize. So actually, in your presentation, you met the minister of the Thailand after its booster. So actually, could you tell us a little bit more about the impact of the winning the prize of its booster?
Okay, two part. I think the grants prize winner is just like a certified for us to have a chance to work with a space expert, a company or big company, and that's as a part of technology and a part of market or business. I think it is very good for us that we can at least guarantee that our idea, our business, and our solution is is already brush up and have a certified, and that's why it's a springboard for us to jump to the market and have a chance to meet with government, and and they trust us, and we have a chance to prototype. That is the key.
Okay, thanks so much. So unfortunately, it's a time to move to the next the speaker. So thank you for sharing your great experience about booster. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your insightful discussion, Ms. Kanjanit and Shogo. Okay, now we'd like to move on second one-on-one session. Now I'd like to introduce two speakers for our second one-on-one session. The first, Dr. Manju, CEO and founder of Lead Carbon, and Mr. Shogo Yakame from Space Data Foundation as a moderator. And Shogo, the floor is all yours.
Okay, so thank you, Manjuna, for coming today. So the first of all, could you introduce yourself and your company, please?
Okay, yeah, thank you for the opportunity, and I'm very pleased to be here to share my experience about Booster as a RC Ocean Prize winner. Let me share about my idea that why I win the Booster RC Ocean Award. Please allow me to share my screen so that I can present my slide. Okay, can you see my screen?
Oh, just a moment. Yes, now I see.
Okay, great. Yeah. Hi everyone, and I'm Manju. As CEO of Lead Carbon. So Lead Carbon is a product of Lead Intelligence. Lead Carbon is founded during the COVID time, like in April 2020. So what we were trying to solve the problem here is Lead Carbon. We want to provide the data-driven solution and nature networking for the low-carbon societies. So using the space-based technology and the space-based data. So how we can overcome with this in terms of how we can make low-carbon societies. So we come up with this idea about how integrating the data monitoring service, and at the same time also developing the nature-based solution, nature-based carbon project for the people and also emitters, and also connecting everyone at part of the solution as nature networking. So it is our core service as a data as a service. So we provide the data over the 40 years, and this data are updated regularly. So this data can use for the effective nature-based solution planning. And at the same time, we provide the monitoring service. So we provide the monitoring service for from past 40 years to now. And also we develop the measurement and report, and that is verification report for the any project area, mainly looking at the carbon project and nature-based solution projects. By having this, how we can make the low carbon societies plus at the same time, how we can meet for the climate change, climate mitigation agenda with the Paris Agreement. So that's where we come up with this idea, combining these two ideas for the carbon marketplace, that where CMP, that where we can match the carbon project developer and emitter. Emitters means is the carbon emitters. Then we develop nature-based carbon credits. So this side, carbon developer, they can get the carbon credits, and at the same time, the carbon emitter, they can go for the net zero emission by using our mass, like a monitoring as a service, and our data. Our ultimate goal is to engage everyone as a part of the solution. That's where we introduce the nature networking to the space based technology by combining ground-based and space-based technology. So here is how it's look like our data in terms of like, when they register with us, they can get the data as soon as possible. So we have a data now all Southeast Asia, and then we expand into other regions. And in Bangkok, we by provincial level, we are by district level actually we are providing the data at scale and speed. And in terms of like why we are unique in terms of our product, so we are able to like classify the data based on the user request, so we can customize data as quick as possible, and then we can see the changes. This is like how the land-to-land cover changes to our transits to another land-to-land cover, and what could be the emission reduction has been changed. So we validate our data by publishing the 12 publications, and our accuracy is 92%, and we'll be developing the on real-time based alert system. If any changes, even if any tree lost in agriculture land or like in a forest area, we wanted to alert to the people. That's where we are building the like connecting the remote sensing data and also GNSS kind of communication satellite data. So these are the projects actually we already now we have in afforestation, deforestation, and also improve the forest management and agriculture land management. What we are making using our space-based technology and project development, we want to make our carbon projects is highly environmental, social, and economic benefit. To make sure that this is only possible that using the remote sensing data and the ground sensors. So that's where we can make sure that these projects are well managed and the carbon emitters are meet the net zero emission target. Without the space-based technology and the data, it's very challenging for us to track them. So this is our mobile application. So if anybody can join our application to name a tree and plant a tree, we detected 33 million trees in Bangkok, but now we are looking at the partners to like, how we can name this tree and own the tree. So here is our Asia Ocean Praise our S Booster. After joining the S Booster, we did not stop there. Actually, we had a lot of opportunity, including the ACLA program. Last week we completed, and then we had a chance to go to the France, and we are able to like present our application and also like with VCs and also partners. We got 2 partners and we are working with them for the partnership agreement. And at the same time also now we selected the EU Global Action and One Pace program, and we got 1 more partner to like scale up our application. So from there, here is like how we are expanding our project and also data which we are providing. So we're quite fast in terms of like introducing our application, moving faster. So presently we are covering all Mekong region, and we have some clients that where we are developing the pilot project, and also we're in discussion with in Japan companies that from Axela program which we got, and then where we want to also like expand our business, and we got another 1 project that which we are working 1 billion trees planting in Uganda. Yes, that's all from me. I'm happy to take any questions further.
Okay, thank you so much, Manju. So actually, first of all, I'm gonna ask you your motivation or the reason to apply for S Booster. Actually, I mean, there are a lot of another the acceleration program or business the contest in the world. Well, why did you choose the S Booster?
Yeah, that is very great question. So S Booster I choose, the first is that how I can expand, because my application is not only for 1 specific region, and I want to expand to like on a global scale. And the best is that in Japan, if I join, if I win, there is a good chance for me to connect the space sector also, because where we can get the data. And at the same time also how I can expand my business, because my business also has a good potential in Japan to expand, introduce the emission reductions. So my ultimate goal is that how I can expand my business. The first, my idea is that, okay, there is a chance that where I can join and I have a chance to like meet many space sector in terms of the data is very important in terms of the communication satellites that where we can also get from Japanese sectors, and at the same time like most importantly VC sectors. So space business getting the VCs are very challenging, and what I see in this in the business sector, especially in the venture sector, Japan actually is booming more. So that's where actually I target that how I can scale up, at the same time also how I can get the supporting system. That is the main reason that actually I applied for the S Booster.
Right. So you mean that before applying for the AEST booster, you wanted to jump in the Japanese market, but you didn't have any opportunity or any network in the Japanese market, the Japanese economy. So that's a big motivation for you to jump in the AEST booster to make this kind of networks and to approach to Japanese market, right?
Exactly. Very true.
Okay, it's a great motivation. So actually, I want to ask you about your mentoring program. I'm guessing that you were struggling with several your issues related to your program or your solutions after starting the program. So how did you solve this kind of issues were challenging throughout the mentoring program? So could you tell us a little bit about your mentoring program, your mentoring experience?
That's very important. That is the main part of the AEST booster. Thank you for the question. The challenging is that language. For me, when I speak very fast. When the mentor said, calm down, slowly. So you need to understand the mentors first, because everyone want to speak faster, but that is not the most important. How you are going to pass your product to the people to understand and buy your product. That is the most important actually that I learned from the mentors. And specifically that we need to also understand as a business developer, as a startup, that how you are going to adjust your language to the local language where you wanted to expand. My mentor, the first question, the recommendation is that very good, your English is good, but you need to make sure that how you are going to slow down. And that is the one thing that it's turned to me, make my application to understand the Japanese client and also Japanese, the government officials. That actually we got good number of the clients now. So that is the challenging actually I faced one. In terms of the good about the mentors, so most of the mentor AEST booster choose, and my mentors also, they are well experienced in the space business sectors. And even though we have an idea, but coming to the business side, we need some mentorship that how we are going to do that. Actually, they helped me in terms of how you are going to scale up your business and which side you need to go and how you need to make your business is understandable. So that's very valued in terms of the business expansion. That actually I got it, and I make it very friendly with my mentors. They're very friendly. We just chit chat and we talk. When I was in Japan during my presentation, and I'm very happy to see them, and I'm very happy to see their smile. So in terms of mentoring, we build the friendship, relationship, and also very close friendship. And some of the mentors also still helping me to scale up my business.
Right. Actually, it's a very super important point, especially the first one is a little bit tricky for the foreign people, especially if you don't have any experience with the Japanese economy, because we have the several culture or language barrier with the foreign people. So actually, your mentor provided this kind of the tips with you how to make a great impact on your presentation by using the language or how to present your business, right?
Very, very true. That is the most we're happy to say that, oh yeah, we have an idea, we want to explain. We are very hurried to say that. But at the business side, no, it won't work. That is the first lesson actually I learned from Japan. When I entered and said, oh no, it's not actually. We talk we are on the cloud, oh, we have an idea, we go here and there. But no, it's really, we need to be very careful with that. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so thank you so much. Unfortunately, we have to move to the next the panel discussion. I think you are still joining to the next panel discussion. So maybe I'm asking you about a little bit more your experience in the next session. So
yeah. Sorry, before I end, I would like to say some of our participants also. So if you have an idea, please do not worry. Just register and find a team and apply it. Till it is reached to the the global well-known space sectors, we don't know whether how your idea works. Every idea has a value and it has a very impact for the environmental sector. Please do not worry, just apply it. And I wish you all the best for who is applying for it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your great thought and experience. So thank you, Manju.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manju and Shogo. Okay, now we'd like to move on to panel discussion. Our panel features a distinct group of experts who bring a wealth of knowledge and diverse perspective on nurturing startup in Asia Pacific and Oceania, including Australia. We will also discuss what AEST can bring in. Yep. Please join me in welcoming our panelists, Dr. Tim Parsons, Manju, and Kanjunit. Thank you to all three of our panelists for joining us today. This panel discussion will be moderated by Mr. Shogo Yakame from Space Data Foundation. Shogo, the floor is all yours. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. So in this panel discussion, we would like to discuss the booster for especially the Australian applicant. So first of all, Tim, could you introduce yourself and your company, please?
Sure, Shogo. Hi, everybody. I'm hoping you can hear me okay. So I am a non-executive director, volunteer director for the peak industry body for Australian space industry, the Space Industry Association of Australia. And I also, in my own work, I have the pleasure of coaching space startup companies, sometimes companies that are doing things in upstream and also companies doing things downstream. So, sort of both dynamics. And I've really enjoyed listening to Manju and KC today talking about their companies as well. It's a very common and interesting kind of learnings they're getting as they're taking technology and customer insights and so on and figuring out how to apply those to a market pan in Asia.
Thanks so much. And let me introduce myself and the SpaceTide a little bit before discussing. So actually, I'm Shogo from SpaceTide Foundation. Actually now I'm an MBA student at UC Berkeley in the United States. But before MBA, I was in Japanese consulting firm and focused on the Japanese space economy. So actually, I'm still pursuing my career in the space economy, and also I'm working for the SpaceTide as well. And the SpaceTide is hosting annual very interesting business conference in Tokyo. Actually, this year's business conference is coming this early July. So if you are interested in the SpaceTide conference, please check our website. Actually, you can access our website from this the QR code. And we are providing an online ticket for the foreign participants, so please check it. Okay, so let's start discuss our panel. So first of all, I want to ask Tim about the Australian the space program. I'm guessing that the Australian the government or other third party like you the providing a very unique, interesting the program to foster the industry itself and also the foster the startups or individuals who would like to start the business in space economy. So could you give us a little bit more about the program in the Australian space economy?
Sure. So there's a lot of different programs in Australia. There are civilian and defense programs. So we recently, 2017, we announced the formation of Australian Space Agency. And so that is also being like a startup inside the Australian government. It's not a research agency, it's an industry coordination agency that is also in charge of regulation for space launch and for vehicles that are going to travel into space under the Australian flag, whether they're launched from Australia or not. And one of the things that Australia's also got is it now has a thing called the Defence Space Command. And that is there because increasingly everyone has recognized that modern society relies on assets from space. In particular, I'd call out that Australia gets a huge amount of value from the Imawari spacecraft, Japanese spacecraft. We get it every time we need to manage certain national disasters. Our friends in Japan help out our agencies like the Australian Bureau of Meteorology with data. And so this has also taught us, not only in the military space, but in the civilian space, there's huge opportunities to sort of open up these realms that were previously dominated by government players, open them up for commercial players. And that's a trend that we're seeing all around the world. Increasingly, we're seeing kind of governments handing over to industry or industrial players. And so in Australia, we've kind of been a late rejoiner, even though Australia was a very early participant in space. We were the third country in the world to have a vehicle launched into orbit. In fact, we kind of put a lot of those efforts on pause until recently. And now that, you know, satellites are very cheap, now that a lot of the software and the technologies are very accessible, we have had a flood of startup companies. We have well over 100 startup companies now in Australia focused on upstream and downstream space solutions. The other thing that is happening in Australia, which I'm sure is common across ASEAN and Asia, is we're seeing a feature of spin-in companies. We're seeing companies come into space from other industries like resources, like medicine, like agriculture, like even things quite exotic like data services in the financial sector, and discovering that their technologies are in many cases more advanced or significantly more advanced than what is in the space sector. And you know, we have lots of companies who are now experienced business people who are coming into space kind of with a startup mindset. And so really what we're seeing in Australia is this opportunity to create ladders of if you like, ladders to lift technical readiness, commercial readiness, and investment readiness. And that's the sort of messy work that we're doing right now. And what's exciting about AEST Booster for Australian companies, along with a lot of the other competitions around the world, is that we see, you know, our market is not enough by itself to support our companies. So we believe that our companies need to partner with great entrepreneurs like Manju or KC, expand their, you know, share their skills, their knowledge, their passion, but also that way expand their capability to provide benefits to planet Earth, and also power amazing exploration programs like the Artemis project that we're part of. So I'm going to stop there, Shogo. I could go on for hours, but I'm hoping that answered your question.
Okay, thanks so much. So that you said that there are almost 100 startups in Australia space economy, and also there are any other industries who would like to jump in the space economy outside from the space industry. So this is a great moment in the Australia space economy. So actually, I feel like the AEST Booster is a great opportunity for this kind of the startups or new entrant to the space economy in your country. So the fund is the biggest value of the AEST Booster to the Australian space economy or Australian startups who would like to jump in the space market.
Look, I'd say, you know, I would say there's three sort of main barriers. I've had the pleasure of having lived and worked in Japan, so I managed to get over the first barrier, which is the classic one. You know, how do you do business with Japanese companies? How do you do business in Japan? Right. You know, the good news for Australian startups is the time zone is very similar. So you don't have a big time zone problem. And also, you know, Japanese people, their comprehension and their knowledge of English and English business traditions is also pretty good. So I think that's always surprising to people who haven't had a lot of experience with Japan. So I'd say that's the first, is kind of like, okay, you know, how am I going to function in a country where, you know, I don't know any Japanese language? So I think, you know, as I said, Manju and KC, you found that wasn't as big as a problem. So I think instead of making sure people feel comfortable, okay, you know, I'll be able to operate. I think the second challenge is, if we're thinking about upstream companies, a very big problem in Australia that we need to tackle as a nation, and probably it's a problem all around the region, is space flight heritage. We need to fly more hardware. We need to test more of our systems in space. We've had a couple of companies just recently. Spiral Blue is one of those, a young company that has successfully tested their edge computer in space recently through just hustle, you know, and just being able to crack in to a mission. And that was, I think, the second attempt. And because of the strength of the results they're getting, they're suddenly getting orders for their equipment. They've got flight heritage. People are like, right, I can use your technology in my mission. So we need a lot more companies in ASEAN and Asia Pacific to go through that journey. So I think that's probably one of the second barriers, is how can we leverage Japan's amazing space infrastructure to increase the number of companies that get flight heritage? And I'm hoping AEST Booster not only, as a competition, but also lifts the awareness of that problem. And then I think the third challenge is how can companies use AEST Booster to go to other markets? Especially we have a pretty close relationship now with India. We just had the Prime Minister Modi in Australia, and we have an active program, in fact, grants program running right now for India-Australia collaboration. I'd be really keen to see that with other countries like Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, Japan, of course, Singapore, Taiwan, other countries in the region where we have strong sort of value match between our startup founders and the difference that we want to make. Solving huge bushfire problems, dealing with carbon sequestration and driving to net zero. Those are things that are a big priority for our government,
Right.
And increasingly those are things that have been driven by investors, both impact investors and commercial investors. So yeah, hopefully useful answers, Shogo.
Yes, that's super helpful. Actually, the Manju and Kanchani, do you have the comment to build on what Tim said, especially in terms of the foreign startups who'd like to join the AEST Booster program? Do you have the comment for the audience?
Who first? Dr. Manju,
You go first.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I have a message that I would like to talk to someone that thinking about that. Maybe AEST Booster is not the opportunity for them because they think, they need to participate and in the competition with 300 startup. Asia Oceania. I love the word of Dr. Manju that every idea have value. That's why I would like to emphasize this part. I think EcoSpace is a good evidence that proves that AEST Booster is an opportunity for everyone, no matter what you are in Australia, you in Japan, in Thailand, or in India. This is the opportunity. This is the platform for everyone that you can bring your idea and pass through the program, accelerator program of AEST Booster and brush off on your idea and turn to prototype and then commercialize. And another thing is if you even be an expert of a space tech, like a downstream sector, EcoSpace also a downstream. We don't have any expert of satellite guys in our team, but yes, we found a partner regarding to this platform. I think would like to encourage everyone that think about AEST Booster and have a perspective like the competition. I think it's not actually AEST Booster is community. I use this word when I talk about AEST Booster in other platforms. I think AEST Booster is an intensive course of business space business program, and you just take out from your comfort zone and go with the flow and enjoy and we see the friends and later on, it's good to be a winner. But if you don't get any prize, it's okay. Benefit out there also, and don't miss this class. Yes.
Great. Thank you. Manju, what do you feel about it?
I think some of the points actually that the Kanchan already covered that. That's true that, as I mentioned earlier, that every idea has a value, that how you can make value with reality, that is the most important. So means AEST Booster is not like one day you can go and prepare the presentation, pitch and come back. I think that's everyone need to keep in mind, like who is applying for this competition. So there is a screening time for screening, second screening. By chance, actually, your idea is really good. It is really environmental impact, as I say, like an upstream, like a downstream. If you look at it both sides, then it's one key point. Actually, one solution. It's not like you go for at one time, okay, 5 product or 6 product, but one product or one solution that really can have a huge impact. That's fine, and you don't need to have like all set up now. You need to have number of people in your startup now. It's been like 5 years, 6 years now. The idea is the most important. It's idea, and then second is also if you have, means the most importantly, the team, please make sure that how your team, because the team also need an experience to scale up your business. That is also most important. Once you join that one and then you are selected, and there is an incentive course every weekly, they have, even first how to pitch, also they have the means the course a presentation, and how to prepare your slides, and at the same time how you have to make your product in more readable way, understandable way. That is continuously process. Then after certain months, then there will be for you to chance to go to Japan. So once you enter the Japan, that means you are the winner. If you lose or win, it's okay. You already win up many people, and many people, many space industry knows that actually you already in the space sector. So they will advertise, and they will also make your logo visible. So please think that it's not about, okay, you apply and you need to go for the pricing. So the pricing is secondary. Money comes, that we use for the scale of your business, but recognition is very important. So if you get first winner and other winner, but the thing is that where people knows that where you are, who you are, that's where actually space industry in Japan, I think you can make it. So that is one thing that that's why actually I got to know 2 or 3 opportunities and good connection to scale and also connectivity. So again, I'm sure that everyone has an idea, but don't miss that chance. Not even this year, but other place also you can apply. And I'm sure that one day it will work out. Yeah, that's all from me. Actually, I wanted to encourage the participant to apply for it. Thank you.
Great. Actually, I think the accessibility to the wide variety of market in the Asian Oceania region, and also the creating a networking is super important for the startups, because actually the space business is the worldwide market. I mean, we don't necessarily to focus on the only one the region or only one the country, that we should scale up into the wide variety of region or countries, right? So actually, in terms of the perspective, actually, the AEST is a great platform to access not only the Japanese market, but also the wide variety of other Asian market like India, the Thailand, and Australia. So this is the one of the most biggest benefit for the participant.
Yeah, that's true. That this is Asia Ocean also, Japan, Asia Ocean. It's already half of the world we cover. If you join AEST, half of the world knows that who you are. So yeah, that's very true for the connection. Yeah, thank you.
Right. Great. And also, Tim, do you have any expectation for the AEST? Actually, the AEST is providing the mentoring program and the unique networking and the very unique flights. So actually, what kind of the content is the most valuable for the Australian startups?
Look, Shogo, I actually think you put it best just a moment ago. I think that I'll sort of say it slightly differently, which is one of the things we teach deep tech startups in particular, or technology heavy startups, is that in many cases, they can't sell directly to partners. In most cases, they can't sell directly to partners. They have to work with partners, and they have to identify people they can learn from, right? Where they can learn what are the actual needs of the customer, what's the most appropriate way that they could receive the value from me. And that's not something you can do just by Googling on the internet. You actually have to talk to people. And then if you're going to sell solutions into people in ASEAN, you need, and across Asia, you need to actually understand what are the things that they think are valuable, and what are the things and the challenges that they're experiencing while they are trying to solve tasks. We call it, they've got these jobs that they're trying to do, jobs to be done. What are the problems that they have in trying to do those jobs? Classic startup stuff. And you only really get that through, as you said, networking, meeting people, and getting access to folks that you wouldn't normally meet. You wouldn't, you'd have to spend a lot of money to go to lots of different conferences to meet many of those people. And so I think, one of the expectations I'd have is that people could, as Manju said, apply with your idea, give it a go, but also be part of that exploration. And then at the same time, I'm sure there are many companies who are interested in selling into Australia, selling into high income countries in the West, for example, and they're interested in understanding, okay, what are the things that people in high income countries are interested in? What are the kind of problems that you're solving if you're selling to the Australian government or European governments and so on? What have you learned? And so there's a good give-get between companies across the region. And I think that's something that I think Australian companies have to be alive to, is this also companies with amazing talent in ASEAN and other countries in our region, Asia Pacific. They're gonna need a bit of give as well, of perspectives to help them increase the value of their companies. And that is, I think that is good business. It's smart, and it's also good for hitting these sustainable development goals and making the most of the space sector for the wider society. Anyway, those are my thoughts, my opinions, hopefully useful.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much. So unfortunately, we don't have enough time to discuss more. So actually, we should go to the QA session. Actually, you guys stay here to answer the QA, the question from the audience after that. So anyway, just thank you for joining the great event, and thank you for sharing your great thought and your great experience. Okay, so Kensuke-san, I'm passing my mic to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shogo. Okay, thank you, but we don't have enough time today, so it's time for us to wrap up here. Okay, thank you for participating this online event. Okay, the host, please, please show your slide. Thank you. Okay, thank you for participating to the online events. If you take on interest in S-Booster, I encourage you to apply through our website. And if you have a question, please email to the address on the slide, info@sbooster.jp. Okay, the final due date is 6 p.m. on the June 12th, Australian Eastern Time, or 5 p.m. on the same day, Japanese Standard Time. We are all looking forward to your ideas. Thank you for coming today. Thank you.